will be again.
Yes, there will be again.
All right, we're live. 7?
You're live. Okay.
What until I get just give me a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay, roll call. I'll take a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open the meeting?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, roll call. Mike Sabatini.
Yes, sir.
Barbara Breckman.
Yes.
Mike Donahue. Frank Todd. Ron Intron.
Sarah Bork, here.
Okay, I'd like to welcome our guests, one and all. Thank you. Okay, I have to, there are no minutes tonight due to conflict. But I have to remind you, we are on television, so be aware.
Candy must be thinking.
Okay, number 101 Main Street. Mr. Vandetti.
We're back.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Nancy McCann. I'm here with Jerry Vandetti, the applicant. And at your last meeting, you did approve the designs for the new inn and the restaurant and the addition to the existing historic house that's out on the streetscape. And you asked us to revisit the design of the gallery spa building as it relates to 3 points: the skylight, the windows, and the door. And Mr. Vandetti has done that, and we have submitted some revised drawings. We submitted the original, the design that we're proposing. We submitted this, I'm waiting to see if you're pulling these up. I'm
I
stalling.
had it. I'm gonna find it. I know they're from.
We do have boards here as well, but you should have, this is the street
Here it
view, which I think is an improvement based on your recommendations. And then we submitted various model.
Those didn't come through. All I got that came through, Nancy, was the PDFs.
Okay, well, these I will submit and you can pass them around. This is the model view. And Mr. Vandetti can explain what he's done, but I think you'll see that he took your recommendations and comments to heart. And
So I have.
we have them on boards. And I think, Jerry, I can hold up the board if you'd like, and you can just
Which,
describe what you've
is that
done.
the Main Street elevation that you're looking at?
Which one do you have? Do you
I
have
have
it on the
both.
backside? Or is
That's,
it all on this?
Let me go through this first.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I have the right visual up on the board here.
It's the next one.
The next one. This one?
Yes.
This elevation is front on of the north side, so it's just looking right at it.
At the street.
Yeah, and if you hardly ever go to see that view, but this is the view from the street.
That's
That's the street view. And
That's the view if you go into the property, look right.
I colored this up so it looked a little prettier. And this is the view that I had shown before. So we did the work on the skylight. It's a little foreshortened, so you gotta look at it a different way. And then the windows, we enlarged the windows and did a little trim configuration of the windows, give it a little more character, and put the glass doors. So I think it makes an improvement.
I think it makes a big improvement. From the street view.
I think that design
Right,
changed it
true.
quite a bit, actually, from the
Yeah,
street.
yeah. It looks like a small hip roof
Mhm.
Yeah,
house that belongs in the
more
neighborhood.
reflective of what's going on there.
Country style.
What is, so is it just trim boards under the windows
Yeah.
to give the length that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
still need it for the gallery space
Yeah.
in the inside?
Yeah.
like a wooden batten.
Yeah,
That's nice, because you've got that on the restaurant,
yes.
similar, right?
Similar.
Similar.
Off the barn.
Glass doors look great.
Glass doors, wood fine.
What's the fence made out of?
That's, metal, steel fence.
That's the steel fence.
It's wrought iron.
Well, they don't have wrought iron anymore, it's steel. Yeah. Wrought iron is long gone.
Black.
Black, steel.
Black.
Yeah, it's form steel.
Oh, excuse me, form steel.
With the granite pillars on the ends.
Yes.
Nice.
Granite pillars.
On the
Yeah.
ends, yes.
So, yeah, I think it's gonna work out fine.
This is just a question. I don't want to throw monkey wrench in this, but the canopy on the entrance seems to just hang out there. And as a traditionalist, it almost looks like it wants columns of some kind. Would that ruin your?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
trying to
that's-
make it, it's only, it doesn't hang out that far.
It looks, for some reason, it looks, maybe I'm looking at the model.
We're just gonna ask that question.
How far is this?
It's,
The
3
turns
feet.
away.
How many feet?
3
Wait, 3 feet?
Yeah, it's not, the roof only hangs a foot, and the canopy's 3.
Brackets, something underneath,
We can do brackets.
something under there.
Like
Do it like a
corbels,
corbel.
kind of like a corbel of some kind.
Yeah.
They're talking about.
Yeah.
Steel or.
Is this new? Is this the stuff I couldn't download?
These are
Those are the-
exactly, these I submitted to you the other day, but
Yeah.
if you
They
can
were-
download it.
That's where I'm
Oh,
looking
that's
at,
right.
actually, yeah.
Yeah, those are, I modified the model so it
Mhm.
reflected what we did in the drawings.
This is the one that sticks out.
Right, and it may be in the model.
It's the view, you're never gonna see it left from that
Right.
angle, you're gonna be, at eye level.
But from the eaves, it's actually coming out 3 feet.
Yeah. It's not a huge canopy, it's just enough protection for the,
Questions?
I think I would put a bracket on it, would add a bracket to it, if you're not gonna add columns.
Yeah, something.
Because it's actually 3 feet plus 1, so it's 4 feet out. It's 4
I
feet
think
out.
it needs something,
we can do a bracket.
something that's gonna give it, that's gonna look like it's
Supported.
supported, you know.
A decorative gusset.
I don't know how to it is,
We would take a condition that we add a bracket.
but something, yeah.
Would it be a thick wooden one?
Wood, I would do wood. It'll be, it'll
Simple.
have scale, yeah,
But simple,
simple,
not ornate.
not a.
No, like straight. rather than curved.
More
So-
questions?
The existing house must have something, but that's gonna be
I don't know about that.
the historic house?
How's it got for brackets? Not
So
that
it's something just very simple,
clean.
clean looking, you know, Renzo Piano would do.
2x4.
Yeah, I would say that that would be something I'd like to see added to that entry. Other than that, I think that this works, this is a much better solution. I'm pretty comfortable with this.
Mike? Comfortable?
Yes, sir, I am. I like the way you broke up those windows on the side.
Yeah, this,
Yes.
I think that those vertical lines also help with the overall proportion of the building, because
Yeah.
it's very roof heavy.
Yeah, and it reflects, I thought it reflected the skylight, you know, the
Yeah.
reality of that skylight with all
Yeah.
that, you know, so you get that.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
What
Okay.
kind of restaurant?
I'm sorry.
What kind of restaurant?
It's gonna be in a barn building.
Yeah,
You
but what
mean
kind of
food?
That's not my department.
Why don't we just say delicious?
Delicious food.
Fresh and wholesome.
Good, that's good.
Yes.
Good. Any other, I have no other questions. I actually didn't think we would go this quickly.
Any other questions? I'll take a motion.
Motion to, I say we approve the drawings that have been presented to us this evening with the condition that we add a simple bracket on the 3-foot overhang. What direction?
Canopy.
Canopy.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any more questions?
No, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fast.
It's been a pleasure.
Good. All right. Well, we've got a while. Yeah, but we can't,
They left too.
we can't,
They left.
no, 43 Weathersfield Street
I'm here.
is here, but we have
Gotta be close to the
to be closer to the time.
43
Smoke break.
Weathersfield Street.
A little 10-minute break.
7:25.
Mr. Chairman, we're too off the schedule. We have
What do
to,
you mean, we're too good?
yeah, that was way faster than I anticipated, so. They're scheduled for 7:25, but we could do probably 7:20, so we have about a 10-minute lapse in time here. Recess, 10 minutes. Is that, can we do that?
second agenda is 43 Weathersfield Street.
Yeah.
Come on up.
Application from Matthew Gerard seeking approval for new windows, doors, siding, roof, and gutters. Applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness. You were what, next to where Ruth Leopold was?
The Kents used to own my house.
I go back into George Daniels.
My mother-in-law's owned the house for 31 years. Her nephew was Scott Levitt. He was the highway department.
Sure, I know.
Right, the highway department. She lived there for years. Signed it over to her two daughters. My wife signed it over to my son. He bought his aunt out of the other half. Now he owns the whole house, and me, his mother, and his grandmother live there. And I am the contact person to fix the house up. He doesn't want to change the floor plan. He doesn't want to change the design of the house. He just wants to make it livable, heatable, and energy efficient. We have holes in the windows, all the sills leak, they're all rotted, the doors sills are rotted. We just want to cosmetically fix the house. The barn boards are gonna stay, which is the seating of the house. Okay, they're gonna stay. We're not gonna remove the barn boards. We're gonna rip it down to the barn boards because they put sheet of shake over the clapboards, the old original clapboards, and the original clapboards are rotten. So what we're gonna do is take the sheet of shake off the clapboards, put new top paper, new tie back, new clapboards, new framing and everything. New windows, pellet windows, all right, break proof. They can't break into the windows because they got a bar there and stuff like that. That's it. No foot plan's gonna be changed. We're gonna keep the pillars in the front of the house. You know, the porch is gonna stay the same, except there's two windows on each side of the porch, not the front. If you look, see the two windows on the side? Instead of having two windows, we're gonna have one window. That's the only change there.
So which?
That's for energy efficiency. I mean, we got 7 windows on a 6-foot by 12-foot porch. We're gonna try to reduce it to 5 windows.
So when you replace the side windows, you have one window, is that gonna be the same dimension as the old 2, or is it gonna be smaller in the center? How's that gonna be set up?
It's gonna be centered, see, in between where the 2 are now, it's gonna be centered right there on that beam. And it's gonna be the same size as the regular size. See the window I replaced on the other side of the chimney?
Yeah.
It's 53 by 35 by 53. Standard replacement window for our type windows. Okay, and that's what I'm gonna put in on the sides and the front. You're still gonna have 3 in the front, but just 1 on each side. That's the only
Divided
difference.
lights?
Huh?
Divided lights?
Will they?
Divided lights?
Well, the one
Like the
you,
grills,
the one you put
The
in
one-
was
the
like
one-
101.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have split windows.
like 6/6.
Yeah, 6/6, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly the same as it is. We're not gonna change the face of the building at all on the porch. The rest of the windows are gonna be double hung like they are. All right, but these here are gonna be 6 glasses to a window. Tempered glass, made by Pella. The doors, that's gonna be an insulated door here on the side. Right now, there's a porch right there, and I don't know how they got away with building that porch there because it's built over the septic system. I'm removing the porch and putting a little 2-step thing to enter the door there, so the porch
The one
is
on the
not.
side?
Yeah, the sun porch, so it's not covering the septic tank. Right now, as it stands, we have to take our boards off of the porch to pump the septic, which is ridiculous. So I'm gonna remove the sun porch and just put a little 2-step staircase going up to the side door.
Okay, so you sent.
No overhang or anything, no roof overhang or anything, just the 2-step thing.
Right, so you sent us photos of the rotted
wood conditions of the windows?
Yeah, you see right here how that is rotted? You haven't seen inside of that. The inside is twice as rotten as the outside is. Been eaten by bugs and everything. I mean, this house is 114 years old. The last time it had any work done to it was the addition in the kitchen and dining room off of the back of the house in 1959. Okay, which is, what were we talking about, 54 years ago? Okay,
So
well,
I'm gonna
57
try to
years
find-
ago,
So is this evidence here of the clapboards that are rotted right there in the
that's
corner?
not the clapboard, hon, that's the outside fascia of the porch.
Uh-huh.
And it shows you how the support of the porch is deteriorated, and the columns right there are deteriorated. What I wanna do is fix the columns and fix all those supports and reface the porch. Everything's gonna stay original.
All right, so the materials will be what?
Wood. And, of course,
Because
cement
here-
on the pillars.
Because this is all vinyl in his
Oh, no, they got
package.
clapboard in here too, hon, I knew you were gonna go there.
But it's gonna be wood.
Yeah, they have, these are windows, these are walls. Yeah, they're gonna do clapboard, it's in one of these templates that I gave.
Okay, so it's the same company though, right?
Yeah, but they're not gonna do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna find a different contractor. I just submitted these as evidence of what I was gonna do. We're gonna use 6-inch cedar clapboard. And it's gonna be primed, painted on both sides, and hung. And the color don't matter, but it's gonna be blue. The trim is all gonna be white. And that fascia right here, where you see the green board and the two white boards and the cinder block, it's gonna be covered with plywood. And we're gonna put, I don't know, what do you call it?
Asbestos.
No, it's that stuff that rocks and you put it up, it's in sections.
To cover the cinder block or to cover?
No, I'm gonna put plywood, see how it's all right right there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 3/4 inch old plywood over it. And I'm gonna put this, they sell this, the sections about 18 inches wide, 3 feet long of brick. Okay, and you put them up, screw them in place, okay, so it's all brick. Okay?
So it looks like brick or is it really brick?
No, it's fake,
It's
but it
fake.
looks like brick.
Oh, okay.
It's false front.
Huh? You can't do that?
Well, I don't think that's advisable.
Well, how about if I
If
put,
you match existing,
so it should be clapboard.
if everything stays the same, we can assist you to modify and adapt your house and restore it and bring it back the way it was. When you start to change things, crossing over into new ideas, new concepts, completely changes, then you hold an entire new arena. It's gonna take a little bit more time.
All right, would
You
this
won't,
make
you won't
it-
be in and out in one day.
Would this make you feel better if I fix the sloping cinder block foundation, which isn't supporting anything because the beams that support the porch are inside the pillars, okay? I fix that, put plywood down, and put clapboard on, just like the side of the house. So it matches the sides of the house.
See if I can fold out.
What do you think about that?
We-
Clapboard
that
down
porch-
from
that
the
porch
windows
was-
to the cinder block.
That porch goes down to the ground,
No, it's a good 20 inches off the ground.
so on that porch, it's, the wood that, when it goes to the ground, is that wood or is that block? When it goes across the front, when it goes up to that pillar? See that
Oh,
top right
nothing,
there?
it's-
Is that masonry, is that masonry?
The pillars? Yes.
The pillars of masonry, see,
And-
you
and
see
the
you see the
beams-
last clapboard right
I
there?
think he's talking about this here.
Is
This
that
is
all
the cinder
masonry?
block that he's
Yeah,
talking about.
no, that's just brick and cinder block. It's not supporting anything. There's no support beams in there. The support beams are in the 3 pillars.
So you have to restore that block wall.
Well,
So
no,
you
the
can have a
support
plate,
beams
so you
haven't,
can have a plate on it,
the support beams haven't shifted at all.
but it's rotted, right?
No, 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 just the wood on the outside face of the wall is rotted. This porch ain't listing. The beams are solid and in position. This is just fascia work here. It's rotten from the weather.
I thought I'm looking at a hole going right through his wall there.
So,
No, no, handsome. This is just the rotten end of the porch. You can see the hole right here by the drain?
Yes,
Okay, there's no support beam there. It's inside that pillar, and the pillar over here. Okay, there's three of them come out from the main house into those pillars. This is just rotten from the weather, and those blocks there, they put them there for some reason to fill a gap or something. It's not supporting anything.
so at the end of the day, what you're saying is from the windows down, you're gonna put cedar, you're gonna put clapboards all the way down to the cinder block.
Yes, and I'm gonna redo the cinder
With a
block.
flashing edge that comes back and goes up.
Correct,
Okay.
so.
correct.
Right, so then you could just, if you want to see the cracks in the block, so you can grind them out, point up your block to restore it. And flatten it.
Actually, I was thinking of taking them right out and redoing the whole darn thing, because they're not holding up. You can kick them with your foot and knock them over. you
But
know.
to look the same.
They'll
They'll
be
look the
cinder
same.
blocks exactly like they are, they'll look exactly the same, except instead of being two whiteboards and a green board and a white board, it'll be clapboard.
Okay. I think we got a little
Just like the
confused
rest
when
of
you
the
said
house.
you were gonna do panels of brick. I think that's where the confusion was.
That was my thought, I kinda like the rock around the bottom of the porch, but, if you guys don't like it, I can go with it, with clapboard, the whole house.
I'm not saying that. The panel method is a little askew. They do have a thin brick veneer that you can use, they do have a thin stone
That's
veneer
what
that
it
you
is,
can
it's a
use.
veneer, that's what I was looking for.
That's different than a panel.
No, it's a veneer.
It's actually individual brick that looks bigger than your phone, and you'll actually lay the brick one at a time. It's just a thin brick. It's designed to go over an existing foundation
Well,
wall.
these actually this veneer actually comes in sheets, so you can just put it up in a sheet.
Right, we would not like that idea.
Okay, well,
But we will
how about
definitely
clapboard?
assist you with a stone veneer or a brick veneer if that's the direction you would like to go. We can definitely give you the proper products.
Your
that
name's
will-
Mike,
that- yes,
correct?
That will get you the goal if that's what you would like.
How about I go with clapboard?
Yeah,
Very
And
good.
cinder block,
There you go.
exactly the way
yeah,
it is.
the way it is. So to
Okay.
repair what's
And you
existing.
mentioned that you're.
Yes, I just wanna, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanna reface my house and make it livable and save money. That's all. I'm heating Raleigh as it is.
Did you mention that you were changing that door
Can
out?
you put a fan and blow some of it?
Okay.
And you said you were replacing that door, did I hear?
Yes, I'm replacing that door. It's gonna be a very nice antique-ish type door,
Do you have a
trust me.
photo of it?
Do you have a cut?
Come on. You gotta be doors in here somewhere.
So, okay.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm listening.
Now we're gonna go back to your windows. and your
Ah,
porch.
I'm listening.
These are only snap-in grills. The windows that you picked out, they have real grills, right?
Can you go back to this side of the house, please?
Now that I see this picture, it's showing no grills on that center sash,
Right.
but grills everywhere else. So that's
Okay.
telling me
You see
that.
that window I just put in?
Yes,
This one
sir.
right here.
I had to put that in because the old one was falling out.
I understand that.
But that,
Okay.
but that was.
Now, that window is the same exact size as all the windows in the house.
Yeah.
The only difference from that window is this one, these front ones have 6 panes, and Pella has 6-pane double hung windows, which I'm putting on the porch.
Great. Now they have several different types of grills. We would like the grills that are built into the glass. That is a grill that you buy extra and you stick it on there and it falls out.
These are in between the
glass.
glass hands.
Okay.
I'm paying $480 a window.
Good. So we're making progress.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And as far as the door, it's a nice door with a nice oval glass in it with a little edge thing in it. And it's gonna be white because the house is gonna be blue. And they don't have no damn doors.
And do you have a nice picture of that for us?
I'm working on it, Mike. I thought they had doors in
Is that something that you can email the commission so we?
here. Yeah, I can
see it?
send you a picture of it. I mean, you can go on Lowe's.com and see the same door I'm gonna buy. Kind of get an idea of what it looks like.
Okay.
I think we're missing a
Okay,
pamphlet.
so repairing everything that we see, repair the existing conditions.
It's all it is repair it. There's gonna be absolutely no change, except you see the
No
little
design
orange cap
changes.
coming out of the white chimney? I'm gonna
Yep.
put a stainless steel cap on that, is that all right?
Yep,
fine.
That's fine.
Okay, because the chimneys keep getting, the chipmunks keep getting like wood stove.
Okay, so
They
the
don't smell
windows,
very good.
the Pella replacement windows are going to match what's there.
The
There'll
porch,
be-
exactly.
the
The
porch-
porch is gonna stay the same except for one window on each side instead of two.
I got it, okay.
So the front windows will be 6/6.
Yep.
The side windows,
Will be 6/6,
Everything will
but
be
one
6/6.
instead of two. And they'll be scented.
so the new one that you put in, you're actually gonna take that one out and put a different one in. That's gonna be 6/6.
Yeah, we're gonna take those two out, build a wall, and put a window in the middle, 6/6.
I understand that.
May I?
But except,
He's talking about the 6/6 only on the porch, which is existing. The
Exactly.
rest of the house is going to what already exists.
Yes.
That's his
one
plan.
over one.
Yeah, the rest of the house is gonna stay the same as it is.
Perfect, 1/1.
Okay? As far as the chimney goes, I need to point the chimney. The 114-year-old bricks are all gonna stay there. It just needs to be repointed.
That's
A
fine.
couple of them are getting loose.
A lot of good masons in Raleigh, I hear.
There's a couple good ones in Ipswich that I know.
I like the ones in Raleigh.
Rick mentioned the explosion around the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm starting to like it.
6 inches of weather, so
Four inch and,
clapboards, 4 inches of weather.
As you see now, you see how my door and all my windows are even with the siding? What they did is the original clapboard is on the house, and they put cedar shake over the original clapboard. So now the windows look like they're recessed
Right.
instead of sticking out like they should. And when Sarah was at the house today, I said, yeah, I want to rip the cedar shake off and the clapboard, because the clapboard's rotten behind the cedar shake. And we got bugs like you wouldn't believe, and air pockets and mold, and the only way to get rid of it is take it down to the bond board and redo it.
Dry it out.
so,
Yeah. So
Good, so the
that's all I want to do
And the
is
roof?
make my house better and make Raleigh look a little better.
and the roof, you're gonna do new roof shingles, yeah?
The roof is still good.
Okay,
We might,
alright, so-
we might just
so-
replace the gutters and go on with that.
Okay, so gutters
Before,
and no roof.
And I'm gonna be doing the work myself, so.
before you jump beyond that, Sarah,
Yep.
the trim for the windows, does it have trim or is this, or he's applying?
Mm,
Are you applying your own 1x6?
It has trim, but you can't see it because of the way the siding's doubled up.
it's recessed.
So the
It's
window,
recessed
so the
into
window
the
that
siding.
so the window that you're purchasing already has like a 1x6 and a horn on the
No,
window?
no, I'm gonna put 1x4 siding around it,
That's what we need to know.
yeah. I'm gonna put 1x4 siding all around the windows, it's gonna be white, the siding is gonna be blue, all the trim is gonna be white.
All right,
So it's a 1x4 picture frame,
got it,
no sill.
got it,
Yep, no sill, no sills at all in the house,
Okay.
1x4 picture frame.
got it, thank you. All right, so.
Okay. Any questions more?
On the existing clapboard, did they have corner boards, if we don't know that?
It's
You
all
can't tell.
covered up, I couldn't tell.
So they're gonna be the same amount to the weather.
Exactly.
You wanna cover
Well,
the
actually, no, it won't be the same
I
amount
want
to the
kind of
weather
the
because
door.
there's two sets of siding on it. But it'll be better to the weather because it'll be tar paper, tie-back, and clapboard.
No, I'm saying that I'm looking at the left side of the building and I'm looking at the shingles look like they're 6 inches to the weather.
Right.
Now, the question is that when you go across the front, you're gonna continue the alignment of 6 inches to the weather.
If that's what you want, I can do 6 inches to the weather. I was
Or
planning
four-
on going
4
four-
inches,
I was planning
whatever
on
it
going-
is.
I was planning on going 4 to relieve the wind on the stress on the clapboard.
Yes.
Because the entire house is gonna be clapboard now.
Yes.
Everything's gonna be.
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
4 inches
Yes,
to the 11.
the original house was clapboard.
Yeah, okay, we got that.
Okay.
All right. Now I need a cut sheet on this door. You have to send it to me.
The picture of the door? Yes, I will. And it'll be the same door that goes in all the doors. The doors are all gonna match.
Good.
And I'll get a picture of it today and I'll send it to you. If you write your email down, I'll send it to your email.
Well, I'll send you an email and then you can provide me with all this information, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Alrighty. Everybody? Satisfied? Okay. I'll take a motion.
I don't have the notes.
Well, we'll take a motion.
Oh, okay.
Take the notes.
Yeah, motion to approve the repair and replace, no existing, of the existing, no design changes, 6/6 windows on the front porch, 1/1 for the existing house will stay, gutters, no new roof, 1x4 trim, around the windows, no sill, and the roof stays.
And the window, he submitted the window cut sheet.
I
No,
submit
you owe me the
I'll
Pella.
submit a
You
picture
owe
of
me
the
the
cut
Pella
sheet of the
windows.
window and I'll submit a sheet of the door.
Before you order.
The big thing is, there's no
I am
major
not rich
design
enough.
changes, which is the most important thing, okay? No
Good.
major design changes,
Correct.
this is all repair and
There'll
replace.
definitely be no design
Okay.
changes, no change to the footprint, except
That's
like I
fine.
said, that sun porch, that's illegal anyway as
Okay.
far as
So
code
that's-
goes, so.
Okay.
That's fine, okay.
Awesome.
Got it?
All right.
Second it?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, you're good.
Thank you, people.
I'll send you the email tonight and I'll expect to see missing information.
I'll get
And
that
a
to you
check.
first thing in the morning, yeah, and a check, yeah,
Okay.
the whole $15.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we
Tell
stay
you
on
the
time.
guy
Thank you, Sharon.
Used to live in there, drove all over town in second gear.
Goodbye.
Never took the car out of second gear.
You probably, you
Patriots
guys
are
gotta
power.
know my mother-in-law,
Bye.
Frida Leather.
Oh, Frida?
Yeah,
25.
that's her house, I mean,
Yeah,
that,
but it used to be George Daniels' house.
35.
yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, before
All right.
Columbus.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Take care.
okay, Mr. Chairman, next case?
Next case, 29 Central Street,
Valley Grange.
the Raleigh Grange.
Hi.
Hello.
We are seeking a permission certificate to put a fence on the Grange Hall. We've had some issues with children trespassing in the rear. A new septic system was just put in 2 or 3 years ago. And we've had other little incidences that are telling us that it's time for a fence to protect our property and our liability. We come to you and we ask that you tell us what kind of a fence that you would want if you grant this certificate.
I'm gonna go to Google.
IT advisor. Who's
Google.
behind?
I'm gonna go to Google.
Can you tell us where you have a little drawing with the fence is gonna go?
Okay.
Where do you like it to go?
We had come a number of years ago when we had proposed that a fence go clear up to the corner of the building. And with this here, we're considering all the way to the corner. You can see this is not a straight line as opposed to this one. But this is the area
The septic
that
system's
we
in the
wish,
back.
the septic system is in here. It required, we have all this, okay? And that's what we're considering. We're talking about Washington Street here, but right now, this is it.
So what do you want to fence? What do you want to fence?
Don't want to change anything. This is what we had originally planned. Alan, did we want to go to, totally to the front? Or were we gonna go like we had originally? Come up here.
Do you want it mostly in the back where the septic system is?
This was a previous septic system here.
That's the side.
That was as old as the building.
That's where you have like,
That's
grass.
okay, but this is gone now. The question is, when we first talked about this, we were talking about going from here and here.
You have like a little step here and a step here, and the septic system's right there.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Did we wanna go to the property line right here?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Can I walk up?
Yes,
I'd just like to
yes.
see where
Yes,
they're
you
gonna
may.
put it.
You are the abutter.
Yes,
yeah?
thank you.
Yeah.
And this, will show us on the Google, your property is in the back?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So,
We have
This,
a few
this,
abutters
this
here tonight.
basically is our land. This is our land.
yes.
Which is the driveway.
So on the sheet, there's a shared driveway. So,
Oh, can I go back? The gentleman who owned this land before these people, he was good to us because he mowed our lawn and he respected that, and that was no problem. Now, we were out there, you, me,
And Stewie.
Stewie were out there, and I showed them that piece and that piece there, because you wanted to know where this land was. You were there,
Property line.
yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And as we were there,
That shows the.
I had someone come behind me and say something that I wouldn't want to repeat. And we looked at each other and left. And this is our land. It's always been our land.
No, that's all.
The people who bought the land are using this as their roadway.
This,
To the left, to the
Yeah,
left of the
so-
the
building.
lot line,
So can you just be clear, what did you just
Or
say?
even mark it up,
So-
actually just walk to there.
Is this what you're saying, this is where the fence is gonna go on that side?
yes, but it cuts into the hot top. See, this is the lot line runs this way.
To
The
driveway.
lot line itself is 14.2 feet from the house.
Okay.
The corner
of the Okay.
house on
So a portion of that, yes,
Yeah.
a portion of that has been hot topped over.
It's always been hot top.
No, this has always been hot top.
Yes, it has, since day
From
one.
this back corner of the house
Yeah.
to this corner here is
Been
14.2.
hot top for 50
And
years.
they had their own surveyor come in and put that line in. They did
Which is
not,
our old septic system.
right, and they did not contest it. They just let it happen and let it go because they have their dwelling and it's the only driveway into the yard, okay?
The property
So-
stake is still 14.2 feet.
Yes, it is.
Since,
The,
Yeah, I won't argue
the
that.
actual
It's a
property,
common driveway.
the
Can I
actual.
can I just comment that this is not about fence design?
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, I
this is
didn't want
about-
it to go to
this is
this.
about-
This is inappropriate
Yeah.
in front of the sign.
correct.
Yeah.
So-
Nothing about property line.
No, this is not.
Mr. Dazzell, do you have something you'd like to say?
Yes, it would, please.
Yeah, man, I have this one. Let me pass this around, if you guys don't mind, just
Yeah.
read it.
There's a safety issue
Got that from the fire department.
with putting a fence so close to the line with the fire department,
Fire department can't get in.
police, EMTs. They need more room to get in there if they ever had to.
Yes, we
And
are
that's what
elderly
that
people.
is.
My mother, well, I shouldn't say my mother, my mother passed away, but my
We
father
don't,
and my
we're just
wife's
design
mother.
review, we don't enforce it, but
Yeah.
Mr.
Right.
Gazelle, you have something you'd like to say?
Yes, please. I belong to the Grange, and I talked to Mr. and Mrs. Gasper last Wednesday evening, and over the phone, it was agreed that the Grange returned a small strip of land over to Mr. and Mrs. Monahan if he paid for the surveying, number one. And number two, the Monahans own the frontage to that driveway, the way in, before, where the angle is. And they were kind enough to let me go in and out of there with equipment and trucks last year to do the septic system. And I just don't understand why we're here. I'm here just to try to keep the peace. Ellen, did you not say you would agree to that?
Well, what I would agree to is this. That you surveyed this, you have a surveyor on record of this? Where is,
There's a surveyor, well, we already have the plans on it, yes.
you have the surveyed of this land of this here?
Yes.
You do?
You
Okay.
did too, so I think.
Okay. What I recommend, suggest, is that we take from this point here across. You survey this, and you purchase this land here to the Grange by paying for that survey, and pay for the deed that we would give from the Grange to you. That means that you would own this right straight through, and we would get rid of it.
Why would you do that?
Huh?
Why would you do that?
To straighten out the property line.
Because the thing of it is the Grange, if we were to quit tomorrow, the state Grange owns this property, the state Grange. You don't want to get involved with the state Grange.
I don't want to get involved in any grudge.
You did honest with you.
Think about
If you want a fence, just put one back here, so you don't have to see any of this stuff, and call it a day. Put up a small fence over here in the backyard. Where the boats are, so you don't have to see.
We don't care about the laws.
We don't
What
care
we
about
care about
that.
is protecting our property and our liability. And that's the big piece right now.
This is our
let's-
property.
And that's what the fence is for.
Okay, then in that case,
Let's
just
bring this back to
Just-
what
just-
we,
for the
what we
fence.
can do.
That pins here, the driveway.
We're only responsible
What
for
kind
the
of fence?
fence and the type of fence,
Right.
nothing more.
What kind of?
What you're looking at here is a legal issue.
Okay, well, we can
And
put
and
it,
it's nothing to do with us.
well, this is our land, and we can put a fence in it.
That's right.
Right, with
But
a
right,
design
it's
fence,
only-
if
it's
you
a-
had a solution to a type of fence, it could be,
A
4 foot, 6 foot, I don't know,
No,
but if there's a
just-
problem with the fire chief, Chief Broderick needs to know about this.
Well, okay, so what I'm
If
saying.
it's going in the driveway.
So we need to work with
Exactly.
Chief Broderick on what he would accept as an acceptable fence design.
All right.
Fence design for you, property line for the town.
Well, I don't know, that,
Yeah.
Along this driveway here,
For landowners.
Landowners.
Landowners, exactly.
if Kevin agrees to this, he pays for the survey and the deed, make it down to the lot line, down to the right side of the driveway.
Yep,
And that would be straight,
and
the way it used to.
and pay for the cost of transacting from the Grange to this.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, so
that's,
why are we here about a fence? You don't want a land swap.
No, 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 no,
so
no,
that
no,
doesn't
no,
make any
that-
sense.
Right now, they wanna put a fence up because that's our land.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to put a fence up because they're
But we're
worried about
saying-
liabilities,
Saying,
which is a different
we
meeting.
have a.
So you're saying you're gonna give us,
citizen
give us the land for nothing?
Move on.
you pay for the survey.
you're gonna pay
Pay
for
for the
this,
survey.
and you pay for this.
Continue it then until they straighten
Okay,
it out.
why don't we continue this meeting till next month?
Why
No,
don't we,
no, no, no.
why don't we just hire lawyers and we'll deal with it that
We
way?
don't need a.
No, 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 what I'm saying, you need a lawyer to straighten this out. So I mean, if you agree with that,
We don't need a lawyer.
we have no problem.
Excuse me.
Well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hire a
you know
lawyer to
something,
sue you or nothing. I'm just
The
saying.
Grange,
Yeah, but you, I'll tell you, like, outside, this has been going on since 2000.
excuse me.
Okay, well, we're here about the
Okay,
fence.
all right?
Can't
I'm
talk
just
about
saying, it's been going on since 2000, we've offered many solutions,
And so haven't I.
and now we are at the fence point.
We have
And it
given
is
this
the
a long time.
liability
Excuse me.
aspect.
If-
As an organization, we
Yeah.
we pay a high amount in liability. We are also paying the price for a neighbor who seeks to plow, dump snow and all that stuff. I mean, I've got a whole notebook of stuff
Okay.
here.
With the
that
Grange,
has happened.
Excuse me, miss, she can't be bringing this up.
with the.
Absolutely not. We're here about the fence and the fence
With the
only.
Grange,
This
with the
is not
Grange
the
give.
platform. for
Exactly.
any of
Grange
this.
give
It's a
Kevin
legal
something
issue.
in writing
I
before he
know
spends
it
money
is.
on a
I
survey.
know it is.
The fence is just, you can put
A
the fence down
design.
to
All
the
right.
property line.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, what you and the Monahans are arguing about is a legal issue.
I
And
came
if-
here just for the permission to put up the fence. I have shown you where we want to put it,
Right.
and he is the one that has brought up the legal issue.
I didn't bring up the legal issue, I just said we have to figure this
Well,
out and have
we
it
may
signed,
We may have an issue with Chief Broderick.
and have
so
it
we
signed and sealed that you would do that. I don't wanna go spend all kinds of money and all of a sudden you say, no, I'm not gonna do that. So what we need to do is, if you're willing to do that, I'll do that in a second. But we have to have it signed, stamped, and the whole 9 yards to make it legal.
Well, you're
That's all I'm
getting
saying.
down to the point too, you're reducing the amount of square footage that goes with the lot.
Right.
Well, you got a whole lot of
Well, our first
issues.
proposal was actually to, since the mark is here and since the driveway, the paved driveway starts like here, our first was to make an even swap, and that was back at least 7 years ago.
Right, no. But
And
it's-
nothing ever happened.
That was back in
It's
2005.
still, the only thing we can tell you is what kind of a fence to put up.
That's it.
That's right, we need to know what kind of a fence
Okay,
we
so
want, because
we all
still-
need to do some research whether or not Chief Broderick will allow a fence.
Maybe.
And if he does, then we can look at designs, and that's it. But it needs to be in communication with with the next door neighbors, okay? And if Mr. Dalzell is going to, willing to help broker a deal, fantastic. I'd like to see you guys be all nicey nice.
So wouldn't I.
Maybe
I would,
enough trouble
I
as
would
well.
suggest, in this case, that our next Grange meeting is the October
17. I
17th.
think that, yeah.
And at that time, that we use that time, we invite the Monahans to work this out.
Wonderful, I can get a dinner. Dying to have a dinner over there.
Oh, no, that's
Oh, it's something dinner?
You've been dying for 17 years, it's all authorized in here.
They go to the planning board and they need, be a little land swap there, keep the same square footage for the Grange. I'm sure the money is, you give some of the backland.
No.
for free.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming in. I'm hoping that we can get a positive resolution. I will talk to Chief Broderick, and find out what he, okay? Alright, so let's just be in touch. Do we have your, I don't have contact information for you. Can I do?
I don't want to get involved.
I don't need I don't have your cell phone.
Everybody need that.
Never got an insurance.
Because they need the same amount.
Yes, yeah. Yes, that's what I think. Exactly, not a problem. No. Yeah, we don't. We're still in the old.
Starting to have a conversation, maybe something else.
Oh, but
That needed to be at a different table.
excellent. What time?
6:30.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we know where the interest lies.
Is it a barn?
Everybody's
Well,
going.
it's a barn.
And it says.
But I mean, what's that, what's right there along the driveway? Right, see the red car?
The Grange Hall and the building next to it
Yeah,
are
that's his
really
house.
Oh, that's
tied
the house.
together up on the school.
And then, so where the right of it.
So he can't move his house, so there's no land to move the driveway.
And that was the old
So
school.
he could, so he can add.
And they cut it in two and worked it
Right,
down.
yeah, Maggie's got 3 or 4 feet.
And, what? The poem.
This will be going on.
George King wrote the poem. And,
Just black driveway across it.
Right.
1904.
All right. That's an easy fix.
Well, should we get Sarah back or rescue her?
I think rescue is the word.
She's in the blurry.
Sarah, last name is Ford.
Yeah.
I gotta go back to my meeting, okay?
Right, why doesn't
Thank you, Sarah.
Bye, good night.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I see you out there talking to Merle.
I was looking for Stu Dazel, so I could have him on this communication email.
Okay, 9:45, 9:50.
So what it was-
Okay.
9:55.
Okay. Next item on the agenda.
190.
Thank goodness.
I'm gonna put us back on track time-wise.
Okay.
Right, very simple,
Good.
very clear.
Yeah, the Patriots will
Okay.
play, let's go.
Steve.
I was here last month to see everybody, and appreciate you taking the time again to see me.
Welcome back.
There's a modification from the previous filing.
All I'm looking to do is if everybody can see this. This is Main Street. This is the fence that's getting put up. This is the 4-foot section which comes from the corner of the garage over to the existing post and rail. This is the 4-foot section that is coming over to the, which is going to transition into a 6-foot privacy panel.
Was it 18 months, right?
That's the right here. Okay? So those two are going to stay the same. The 6-foot in yellow is going to stay the same. The only thing I'm looking to change is this orange line was originally going to be post and rail to match this existing fence. What I'd like to do, and the only reason is, this property is now seeing activity and interest, more than we expected, sooner than we expected.
It's gonna
Our
be sold,
intention-
you mean it's for sale?
and they're gonna, someone's gonna be building on it. This post, we were gonna put post and rail. I would like to simply continue the 6-foot privacy fence down along that to connect with the existing post and rail. I think it would be better for both of us, me and my neighbors, to make it one project.
Sure.
As opposed to putting a fence up, paying for the fence, the manual, the labor, the materials, only to, in the very near future, tear it down and come in again and apply for the 6-foot section. Do it all in one shot, it's done, I'm out of everybody's hair.
Reasonable.
And I'm gonna go with the same thing, it's gonna be a flat board cap fence with decorative posts.
It's the same as what you provided
Yeah,
us.
I'll tell you what though, I've,
You changed your mind?
well, I have, but I'm gonna tell you the difference. The difference is it's gonna be a lot prettier. I've come up with some more money. So instead of just this, it's not gonna be the dog ear, it's gonna be a flat board capped fence
Yeah, like
with,
Mike's.
with the decorative caps on the posts.
Yeah,
good.
And the posts will be exposed as to just a plain fence. The post will be exposed, so you'll have a section of post, a section of post.
8-foot sections.
Yep,
Can
same
you
thing.
send me a photo of the
Yeah.
revised?
Absolutely.
So that's good, because
Yeah.
we would ask you to come
And,
make
and,
a
and to
change
be honest, I
anyways.
mean, according to the guidelines, a capped flatwood fence is actually what's considered most appropriate. So I'm actually going closer to what the guidelines call for. And the front will be the same with a 2 1/4 inch space between the pickets. Flatboard, capped with decorative.
Does it bevel up to?
It does.
So
Once we
yeah.
transition the corner, we're going up. I'm still in talking to the fence company and my wife is to figure out whether we're gonna go one section or 2 sections. One section was approved, but we're still considering possibly putting in 2 sections that would transition up, which would bring the height of the fence, the 6 foot, a little further from the street.
Be gradual.
Be more gradual, yeah.
It would look better.
Well, aesthetically, yeah.
Now, you're gonna also have a bevel on the end out here? To go-
No, no,
to go
I
from
hadn't planned on,
6 feet
no, that's
down to
just
the
gonna be a
4
butt.
feet?
That's just gonna come down to the 6 feet, and then off of that will be coming the post and rail that's existing.
It won't look good.
Well, I'm not sure that eventually I'm not gonna put a 6-foot fence around. You know what I mean? I mean, this can't be built on, but eventually we may want, you know, grandchildren come and whatnot, we may want an area in the
All I'm
backyard.
saying is, you're gonna bevel in here.
Yep.
If you bevel from your 6 feet to match into your 4 feet on
Yep.
on the last bit down
Right,
there.
right. Well,
Yeah,
that's not
okay.
being seen from the street. You know what I mean? It's the side and the rear. And I'm not sure, again, that I'm not gonna go with the 6 feet from there eventually to bring it around to the 6 foot.
You might add to it down the road.
I might add to it down the road.
He doesn't want to throw the section of fence away.
And I
It's
mean,
reasonable.
you know,
The good side.
the
Yeah,
good
he
side of the
knows.
fence will be facing the Todds. Yeah.
Okay, good. As long as the Todds get the good side of the fence.
Well, I had someone do that to me once. I would never do that.
The part
So
you
what I
said-
did is I taught my kids to climb the ugly side.
Yeah.
They said, get off my fence. Y'all let them climb it. You put the cross members on my side.
Little bit trouble.
Okay. Take a motion.
I'll make a motion that you can make that altercation, that change to to the full fence rather in the back area there as shown with the
Mhm.
orange line, rather than the post and rail continuing with that, so yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, very much. Sarah, I will get those pictures to you
Thank
as
you.
soon as I can.
Yeah,
If
that's
not
fine.
tonight, I'll do it tomorrow.
That's fine. I'm not gonna do this until Monday.
Okay.
Okay?
That's
So
fine.
may I keep that?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
That's for you.
thank you.
Ms. Turner. Everybody have a good night. Thank you again for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
Sorry I couldn't get you in sooner.
That's okay. You did what you could.
Rough night.
Hello.
Hi, Kate. Okay, so we have an application here. This came in from the planner, from Kate, and she has a rotted sill.
I do. I think this is gonna help. Those are strange pictures taken by the contractor that I'm not quite sure it's easy to see the scale.
I look at it,
Yeah, okay, so you can see,
Oh, yeah,
this
are you
is
her
a
neighbor?
sense,
Yeah.
this is,
Recuse yourself.
yeah, 10 to 12 feet max that we're talking about in terms of perimeter sill replacement. But as part of our painting, we discovered rot in the fascia board and we kept peeling off the layers and we eventually found dust. And so this is something that we need to effectively repair. We're not
Where
gonna
are
be-
we?
Pardon?
Where are we? What
100.
address?
100.
So, is this Nina Story's old house?
It is.
Okay.
Oh, Nina. She's come back.
And this is just looking straight on from Main Street.
Yeah.
So it's a very
Yes.
discreet area, but
Yep.
we want to do the right thing. We want to make sure too that if our contractor, is that he's covered enough, and done enough exploration to make sure that we're not leaving damaged areas unrepaired. But it is, I think we call it an in-kind. I mean, this is purely repair. We're not
Yeah,
changing any of the
this is
aesthetics.
absolutely, and the question was to go ahead and let you do it, but I knew we had a meeting, and I thought it would be much better for you to come and meet everybody and go ahead and get a proper approval instead of an administrative,
Yeah.
which I don't like doing.
No, I appreciate very much your squeezing me in tonight.
Okay. All right, so as a matter of repair and replace, her poor house needs
Okay.
this new sill.
I'll take a motion. There's no more discussion?
Not for me, repair
Okay.
and replace.
Make a motion to allow Kate Turner to fix and repair her sill.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you very much for your time.
I hope you learned something tonight. It was a cool night to be at the historic commission meeting.
Are they all like this? I'm gonna be a regular here.
You should tune in.
We have boxing.
Well, it's interesting, I'm an attorney, so I was all ears.
You can see the reruns on cable access television.
Is there anything I need to do by way of follow-up?
You know what, Kate, do we have your, I don't know if I got the email from the planner. It was an email application,
Yeah, he had sent the original,
right, but he doesn't send the email. Would you mind putting your email down, and what I will do on Monday is I will send you and Ken Ward, the building inspector, a copy, so that way your contractor can pull permit.
terrific.
Okay? So that's what we're gonna do.
All right, very good.
We have to close one first.
Yes.
I hope you like the new color, neighbor.
Yes. It looks great. I love your
Thanks.
home.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay.
Okay, now I'd like to take a motion to close the Historic District Commission meeting.
Motion to adjourn the historic commission meeting, district commission meeting. There are no other cases to be heard tonight.
Right?
All in favor?
No, you got a second?
I'll second.
I'll second it.
And who made the motion?
Sarah Elizabeth did.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Now I'll take a motion to open the Raleigh Historic Commission.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to open the historical commission meeting.
I will second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you need to leave and recuse yourself.
I'm running.
Wait one moment, just 1 second.
Sometimes I wonder if it's small town, if everything done.
Yeah.
You just need 6 to 7 to 8 people on board. Those are-
Okay.
Okay, good. Let me just get myself organized here. Yeah, there seems like a lot of stuff that goes with this guy. Okay, so tonight we are here to go over proposal for 239 Main Street, which is the Bradstreet Farm. The Historical Commission holds a preservation agreement on this property. Mr. Sabatini is looking for approvals for work done without written historical commission approval. We will be reviewing tonight the following work: the interior work in the main barn, exterior changes to the 1911 barn. So the commission's job tonight is to decide whether or not the work falls within the restriction and should either be approved with conditions, or rejected. That's the goal for this evening. Okay? So, Mike, you'll help guide me on what you need to see. I thought it might be best if we go through the list
Yes.
that
I
was.
think I have everything in order of that list.
Yeah, okay, so if we are to look at the interior floor plan for the children's learning area. So we are looking for documentation for changes made to the interior of the main barn for that purpose. And it should be clearly stated that it's a children's learning area, not a daycare. Correct?
Thank you.
Okay, so what do you need from me? What do you have?
So-
I have photos, you sent me a lot, so I wanna,
So this is the floor plan. You haven't seen it, right? Correct. So I brought you this board, just so you have a sense. This is the barn, that's the house. And this is the L. You'll hear the word L, and that's the main barn. So you kind of.
so but to orient everybody here, so
Main
Main
Street.
Street is this way.
Yeah, here you go. Have the little smaller picture. Route 1A, Main Street.
And
Mr.
Todd Farms.
Way over here, Todd Farm Flea Market. Elmwood Avenue, the land starts right here, goes all the way out and around. That's the old Mrs. Bradstreet's house, and that's the old barns.
So that we go to the detail of the barn.
Then I kind of blew it up a little bit.
Okay, so this is the main barn as you approach, and then this is the addition, what they call the 1911 addition.
How L.
Well, actually, we'll go with what they say. Okay, so, so you have,
So the-
photos, this is a photo, yeah, that's the one I have too. So this area was talked about, that there would be a children's discovery area or learning area, but please fill in the blanks.
A lot of artifacts, a lot of historical things. I love history, I love antiques. A lot of the things in this picture, they were on the property. There were 2 dumps on the property. We found a lot of these things here we dug out, and a lot of them I've been buying, and some came from my father. Now people know that I'm collecting antiques, people are donating them. So I tried to donate some of them to the Raleigh Historical Society. They said, oh, no, we have way too many. So we decided to save them and create our own agricultural and horticultural display.
Farming tools and.
Exactly. And that's what we did. Michelle and I created our own agricultural and horticultural display. And there are field trips that come, daycare kids and field trips that come. And I thought that was pretty cool. So that's what we did. And now we made a little horse fence in the front, so that to control and make it safe, and that's what we've done. And so now we have our own little display of agricultural, horticultural artifacts.
Learning center, whatever.
They call it a learning center, but
So-
it's an agricultural, horticultural display. Is our new words that we're using, because somewhere down the road, somebody turned around and said, oh, you're putting a daycare center in. And so, just to stop any of that, we just want to call it an agricultural, horticultural display, which is exactly what it is.
Okay, so I should change that too.
Yes.
So,
Is there a regular schedule expected of children to go through here, or is
No.
this just
No.
as somebody wants to come
This is
see it?
mostly for me, all the things from my father or people that donate to us and things that we found on the property. So we're making our own display.
Yeah, but I thought you were implying that groups of kids come and see it.
Yes, they do, but there is no, they'll just call up and say, you know,
Make a
we want to
reservation.
come
So
by
like
and
local
take a look.
schools,
Yeah, that's what-
do you advertise it?
No.
so display area, okay.
So now, you want a floor plan?
So, yeah, documentation of the change. Oh, wait, so this
Well,
is,
you can go to that picture now. Oh, I didn't give it to you, because
no,
I didn't know how to scan it.
okay, but this is the floor plan.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
the agricultural horticultural display is labeled out,
Yes.
okay, that's what we were looking for.
All these walls are all original. All this is all original. The only thing I added was, you can see the old barn board on the 2 sides. 1x8, 1x10 rough saw barn boards, horizontal, right here, and right there. That's it. That's all I added. Everything, all this was already here. That's all the, she had little mini horses in there, years gone by. Those are the little mini horse corrals.
Paddocks.
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 Corrals.
Okay,
So-
so the job for us tonight is to say, yes, this meets the preservation restriction agreement. I think in concept it does, I think that this is fine, we have documentation of it, I think, good. So I don't really have any, as a matter of formality, because this is what this is tonight, matter of formality, I don't think this is, anything that we can't do. However, I will say, Mike, that this floor plan needs to be verified by, Ken Ward for safety, widths and everything. I'm sure he's working with you, but I'm gonna make that as part of the thing, that everything here is safe to code.
He's already done
Okay.
it, and signed
all
off.
right. Okay, so,
He actually came, asked me to do a couple of things, I did everything back.
can I
Agreed.
keep this one, or do I
Yep.
get a copy?
Yep.
Is this the original?
Yeah, get two, whatever you want.
Which one is the original?
Keep that one.
Okay, so this one is the original. Okay, so, fine. So everything here is safe and meets code. Okay. So I think it is a matter of formality, we should make motions and approve each of the items on the list and in that way. So, can I have a motion to approve the children's, the interior floor plan submitted with the interior changes to include the horticulture and agricultural display area?
That's a motion.
Yeah.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye. I know you have it on the computer, but do you want this one too?
No, I've got, thank you. So, okay, next item on the list. We are looking for, an elevation showing the installation of the reused church window, side doors, new slider door, the new porch deck area that has all been added to the 1911 barn. So I think I have drawings of those. Okay, there we go, okay. So, I have to rotate these. Yeah, I'm gonna acrobat.
Close up.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, real ones too.
So is there ones for the table?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Okay. All
I
right.
have a picture of the deck coming off of it. Since you didn't see that,
Yeah, real
gives
ones
you
too.
kind of an idea of what this is all leading to.
Thank you for the hard copies.
Who's there? Okay.
And then this is what's beyond, this new landscape feature, this one,
That was it.
this one. So that gives you the sense of what's around.
Got it.
I don't think we need this one. We don't need this one.
I'll take one then.
What is the distance on the deck here?
Yeah.
To the door?
Which, there's a,
There's another,
there's a side,
Okay.
measurements over here.
is it 2'8",
It's 44 inches. Am I upside down?
3'8"?
3 foot 8. So 4 foot. Okay. And this one is the corner. So I'm trying to double that.
So,
See, well, that's the side picture.
there have been some changes though, right? Mike, will you explain
over there.
Those photos look different than what I remember seeing well, at least 3 of us went out on a site visit, so the handrails have changed, yeah?
Yes, so, initially I built it to the residential code. Kenny came out and had me adjust it to the commercial code. So, hence, it went from 36 to 44 inches
For the height of the railing?
for the width of the platform.
Oh, the platform.
And he asked for the wood fur railings as opposed to the roof. So we changed that. And he has since already come back and reapproved and signed off.
That those meet code?
Yes.
All the dimensions, the 3'8", everything there, he says, yep, it meets code?
Yes, and he signed off.
So again, for the purposes of the historic preservation agreement, we need to look at this elevation and I guess, I think for me, I think the doors are fine. I think that the story of the church, the historic church window that you found on the property, reusing it is a story that a lot of barns, reused things. The doors were reused. The 2 on the ends.
For your benefit, that's an 1842 First Congregational Church. It's the original church window from the church. First Congregational Church in Raleigh.
That's a big one.
I found it, and if you saw the framing from the inside, it's kind of tough on this picture, but she's seen it in the past. It fit right inside the original posted beam framing. Like a half inch this big, if less than that. The doors I got off a mansion in Beverly Farms. They were actually
The end doors.
The end doors.
yeah, those. They were actually French doors, but I took them from, they were French doors, but we made them a left and a right.
Oh, I thought you found those on the farm.
No, the one underneath I did.
Oh,
The one down below.
okay, so those are found objects, historic,
Yes.
they look very nice.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that opening is a 42-inch opening, and it's 7 foot something tall. So, it was a crapshoot to find doors to fit that opening.
Yeah.
They actually had to cut that door down to make it fit. So I was very happy to find 2 antique doors that fit. And same thing with that was a custom door that came out of Georgetown Door and Window, again to fit the original posted beam framing from the inside here.
And what are those doors? Do they slide?
They slide left and right.
I gotta say, that's the one thing I have a problem with on this elevation. Everything else I'm okay with. I think that the slider doors are really not appropriate. They just wouldn't be something you would find on a historic barn. So, could they be modified to have the swinging, like a French swinging door?
Like asphalt.
Using the same opening, right? And I just think that looks very, very residential. And I have to say,
Is vinyl clad, is that what it is?
Is it a vinyl product?
It's it's not vinyl, it's a clad. It's
Aluminum
the
clad.
aluminum clad, it's all natural wood on the inside, it's all wood.
It's such a focal point. It does look a little weak, like sliders.
I know, that's the only thing I can't, it doesn't feel right for me. I don't know how anybody else feels. It feels very it feels just like residential, and this is like, a barn.
Was the piece up above a mechanism for a barn door?
Yes, I'm all set to build the barn door. I already prepped it.
Oh, a barn door is going to hang?
It slides.
I've already prepped it. Because there were barn doors in the back, in the past.
So will they hang out on either side when they're open? Is that what they'll
Yes.
do?
I haven't put the track on yet, though.
Oh, I see.
But it's all prepped for it. Prepped to build the roof.
But you're not gonna You're not just gonna attach them.
No,
as a
they would
decorative feature,
work.
You're gonna make it as a working slide.
Oh, they would work, absolutely.
Okay.
And it's all lined up. That edge. Door would stop right there, line up with the centering of the lights. And then it would roll and just barely close. That's
We presented those doors on March 2nd and then again in June.
No, this is this is for the, for this.
Never,
See that bracket up there? That's all set up, so it's all prepped for the
Yeah, but I mean the sliding,
rolling doors.
The sliding doors.
no,
Right.
we never saw this.
The ones down below.
I have the
Down below.
presentations.
I don't think we talked about the sliding
No.
doors there.
We never talked about this.
Oh, we did?
In March, I have the slides right here. Again in June.
Yeah, but did we get a drawing? No.
I haven't built them yet though.
No,
Is
no,
that what you're
no,
asking?
the slide, this slider door that's already in, not the barn sliders. The actual existing slider door.
Yes.
It goes like this, it
Yes.
doesn't open, they're not
True.
swinging doors.
Oh,
That's
no,
what
he asked me about the bracket, this bracket there.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupted you?
No, I was just curious as
This
to
is what
whether
this is.
there was going to be some kind of
Yeah.
cover to
And that-
it.
I
that's
got,
it.
no, I got that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about,
I
I'm
hear what
talking
you're
about-
saying. You're saying there weren't drawings that we could look at to
yeah,
know
that
what
that
was
was
coming.
right,
Which
exactly.
we had that discussion before. The drawings are different than pictures.
Right, and so
State
what I'm
drawings.
saying is that if this commission had known about that as a choice, we probably would have said, no, not appropriate. A slider door is more residential. Now, on the exterior of future work of a slider door going over, that sounds very nice.
Right.
But the current configuration, to me, I don't know, it just feels residential, it doesn't feel right, is what I'm trying to get at.
It's a focal point, it feels kind of soft, I guess, is that what you're saying?
When you say French door, you're talking about individual panes.
Yeah. Like a Juliet door. Like two doors that would, and I don't know, this would have to be verified with Ken Ward. I don't know if you could have out swinging doors. I don't think you could have them in swinging
So you're
because
talking about two
it's a
fixed.
use issue.
You're talking about two fixed sidelights with that.
Two fixed side lights and two doors that move.
They're operable.
Thank you, Len. Yes, those are the words.
So there would be 2.5 foot doors.
5 foot clear opening.
And then would you have one
Right, you'd have two clear.
slider?
Two sidelights.
I did sliders because right here, there are brackets built into the wall, here and here, and here and here on the inside. So if you go like this, they would hit the steel brackets, that are antique brackets that are built on the inside.
Would they swing out?
So right now, these slides go left or right.
You
Over each
weren't
other,
thinking of
yeah.
sliders, you were
I'm
thinking of
thinking
swinging.
swinging doors.
So if you had two sidelights that were fixed and the doors swung out, so they didn't hit that interior steel that you have, they'd actually swing out.
I'll ask them.
But then we can put the barn doors that slide over.
And then the
They
doors
wouldn't
would go-
interfere at all
slide-
with
Right.
with the barn door.
No, they wouldn't, I don't think
You'd have
they
to
would
open the barn,
interfere.
you have to slide them open first.
Oh, you slide the doors, the barn doors open, right? And then that becomes
Which
a
you would
big
do anyway.
focal
Right.
feature.
So you have to do that anyway.
I just feel like, I don't know the code. I don't know which way the doors need to swing. Because of this, does he consider this a means of egress? Because I don't know if a slider door is a means of egress.
I mean, your whole story is based on found objects and historical connections. You know, in terms of the two doors and how you tool those, and then the same with the window above the old church. And then you have what's, you know, something from, it feels like it does feel out of place in terms of not keeping with the attitude towards historical precedents.
Yeah. Can we
I'll ask
Can we
him.
verify with Ken what he, I just want to know if swinging doors would be allowed and would meet egress code. Does he consider does he consider these your primary egress? Or does he consider the slider door the primary egress?
We never use the word primary. I have multiple egresses.
Right.
I have
So
three
I
here
don't know.
and a 12-footer on the other end.
Yeah, so I just wanna verify, you know, we can verify with him, do they swing in, do they swing out? Is it, is that okay?
You can ask him, he doesn't question it, he's been there several times, it was just they were yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
With the
an
fire
occup-
chief,
I don't think
they
it's an
checked everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, no,
I don't think it's occupancy issues here. I think
No, I
you've
just-
got- You've got a safety egress out of those two side doors.
Yeah,
It's really, I think it's.
and
just-
they're extra wide too.
It's just.
42
keeping-
inch.
Yeah.
It's just in keeping with the attitude that you assume on that elevation with
Yeah.
the other openings.
And the barn doors, would they be, two separate that roll, or is it one that?
Separate.
Cottage,
Two
two separate,
separate,
okay, so
right.
they meet in the middle.
Yeah, because it'll look nice when they're open.
Yeah, it will look
Great,
really
that'll
nice.
look great.
Yeah.
Well, when they're closed, they'll look great.
Yeah. Can we ask about this, and can we have further discussion about this? About changing the slider to two French
I'll
that
ask
open?
Phil if he can take the existing doors and change them up
Do you,
without ripping
well,
them out.
we're describing, ourselves, we're describing something that's not on paper. Is it possible to get something on paper?
Well, I wanna make sure
Yeah.
that the building
Once it's-
inspector would go with such a thing, and see if it's possible, and then I wanna revisit it. And then I would think we need to have a drawing that shows it, and, I just think it might be a better solution to have the two swinging doors, French doors, side lights on. You would have, maintain that same opening, but change it from a residential slider to something that is a little bit more in keeping with, the barn style.
You know what, I'm gonna ask him, that's all I can tell you.
Okay, so let's stay tuned on that, okay?
I don't know what, if Phil can do it or not. I'll ask him.
Okay. Okay, so, but everything else on this elevation is fine, so let's hold off and wait and see what, is available and can be done to that opening. So, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the reused church window, the two side doors, and the, did you wanna talk a little bit about, we didn't even talk about how the porch deck functions, so it seems like there's two levels. And just, there's a platform and then it comes down to another level, is that how it works?
I'm just looking to see how far back you have to step to get it opened up. I know you can't open them in because you hit the steel brackets.
Right, that's why I wanna verify.
Shatter the glasses.
Right, so that's why I wanna verify if it's possible.
Then you have to step stepping
Right.
backwards towards the edge. And that's not a great idea. But I'm gonna start with Phil first.
Okay,
And
let's,
see what he says.
and you're at 3'8", right?
3'8", wide. The doors would have to be 2.5 feet anyways.
Yeah.
Because there'd be two 2.5 footers. Give you the 5 feet. So they could try to fold. We couldn't get them to fold into each other. That was the issue. And here,
But
you have this.
They go, and they can lay flat on each other.
If you can get them to go out, but you couldn't get them to go flat on each other
On the inside, but on the outside,
Because you have the you might even see it. You can see the steel brackets are here. Yeah. See the steel brackets are here,
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and here, and here, and this unit is here.
right,
See, I left everything there.
okay.
These brackets here, when in the old days when the barn was open, they slid like a 2x6 through the steel brackets to make a wall, to make a fence. And of course, I left everything there.
Why don't we use to be determined? Okay, because if it can't move and it has to stay as is, we are gonna have a barn door situation that's gonna go over.
Right,
Right.
which you know you're gonna barn do it, because there you got my
So,
all set up.
do we have, so is it gonna be while we're on the subject, will it be similar to the one that you are proposing for down below, or solid? Just solid, no lights?
Just panels.
My opinion would be solid, no lights.
Good.
Right.
Okay, so if we could, you know, for the future, we need those elevation drawings for that barn door, for that would go there. And there would be
Yes.
2 panels, 2
Yes.
sliding doors.
So meet in the middle.
Yeah, meet in the
It
middle.
lines up, like, you got your picture up there, but it lines up with here, right here,
Yeah,
that line there. This pine trim all lines up with that edge, so the door lines, everything lines right up.
yeah.
See this edge, lines up with this edge, which lines up with the door, line up right there.
Okay,
So all the lights, so everything's in alignment
okay,
going up.
all right.
We put a lot of effort into drawing that.
Okay, so let's, to be determined. Let's
Okay.
do some more fact-finding on that.
Yes.
But if it has to stay because of constraints, then the barn doors will, you can't paint it, right? It has to stay bright white? It couldn't blend in and be less, like, white?
I don't know, never thought of it. Probably could.
That might be
Okay,
something.
I'll ask them.
That might be something that we consider too, is maybe toning the white down and maybe making it the trim color, if that's,
She's right there.
if that's a, option, I don't
Sure.
know. Something, you know, just taking
Tone
it
it
down,
down a
just
little
taking
bit.
it down a level.
Melded into the woodwork a little
Yeah.
better. Okay.
All right, so we have to be determined on this, we're gonna do some more information, yeah?
Okay.
So what I'd like to approve then for tonight is the reused church window, there's 2 side doors. Oh, I keep doing this, you did not tell us how the porch deck worked. You wanna go walk through how that works?
That's why I'm reading it.
Okay.
New porch deck. See my pictures.
Yeah,
So-
so there's a level that you walk out on, and
Okay,
then
so
there's,
you don't want this.
Stairs.
This is sort of, you asked for landscaping, so that's sort of a landscape.
yeah, but it comes, how
That's
far
the
out
side
does this
one.
go? There's a side elevation, no?
Yeah, this one shows it, and then I have one that's like a straight shot on. Sometimes I have to call it, and then you go with a straight shot. That showed all the stairs,
Yeah.
a real picture.
Oh, real,
You're not talking about
Right, this one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she should have that on the screen. That's, yeah, this goes down to the ground.
the brain is not working tonight.
This goes down to
Is
the
that
ground.
new since we did?
No,
No.
just the railing.
Just the railing,
The
the
post is
railing
the
was
same.
great,
Okay.
yeah.
And this is from a sky view. This is over here. And then this one's a side view. I didn't send you that real picture.
Which one?
Something like that.
I
It's a lot of
might, yeah, I
landscape.
have some, hold on.
PC needs it.
And then it just goes to grass.
This?
I thought one looked like that. If you want it.
No?
That's a close-up.
This is what I got.
You had it
Some of
sent
the
to
links that you sent didn't allow. I don't know why I couldn't.
I didn't have my IT specialist close to it.
No, some of the Google links, were good, and then some of them I couldn't load the
Okay.
file. So these are the ones I actually had
All right.
success
This-
loading.
This is the one that shows that you wanted to know about going lower.
Right, yeah, and that shows the materials of the handrails, right? And,
This one here goes down all the way to the
yeah, down to the
landscaping.
new
Right,
grade.
that's what this is.
Yeah.
Okay. But we also have that in a drawing too that you sent us.
Yes, this drawing.
Yeah, okay.
But so I have the drawing, but I have the real picture to kind of back it up.
Yep, I know, we need everything together.
What's the dimension, Mike, from the the landing or on top of the stairs back to the next set of stairs here, what is that dimension? So we're
Is that the-
14, or 10 feet, something like that.
It's, the deck is, you're asking for, let's see,
Yeah,
this that picture.
Come down the stairs there.
Oh, yeah, this landing right here, you mean right there?
Between the top of those stairs and then the beginning of the steps. that go up to the
It's about 15 feet from here to there.
Okay.
That's a tad under 40, 39 or something.
And this upper landing area you said is 38?
That's 48, 44, yep. The rise is a 6 and 3/4?
Seven.
Six, yeah.
7-Eleven. Okay. Any questions or comments about the patio deck?
I think just looking at this, the comments we've made so far would make a big difference. You know, when you look at the back of the barn, it would look like a barn again.
Yeah.
Most of the time, but when you were using it for other reasons, it would still work, so.
That comes up pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think
You've done a
painting
nice job.
the doors is a good alternative if they can be,
It can be changed.
painting them color will make them softer.
I think so, and adding the barn door feature
Yeah, it's gonna be
will
great.
beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, and that works, that works, okay. So,
Can I add one thing?
yes, of course.
Are we up to the last landscaping part or not?
No.
Did we skipped over that, or later, comes later? I know you asked about landscaping. Is that
Yeah,
all of it?
yeah, the new landscape.
I lost your list.
Yeah, that's a 5, that's the last one recommended, to have just a documentation drawing that shows the porch deck, the steps, the handrails, the new landscape, the new landing, the transition to the new grade.
All right, so that's kind of out of the way. All right, so that's this one.
Yeah,
That's this one.
yeah. So those are document photos. And we have that in a drawing as well.
That's the landscaping.
Right. And that's on the site plan that the architect used as a base map. She put the
deck.
the
over
deck
here.
on the base map of the plan that you got from the town of Rowley, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Over here.
So we want that too. Okay.
How was it taken, like the drone that went over it?
Yes.
For real?
Everybody.
Drone? Oh, that works.
So you want a picture? I'll give you a picture.
Okay. Okay, so this is the site plan.
I see
This
them in my
is-
yard.
This is the picture. So you don't have one of these.
Got one, but some.
And they're not even delivering.
Yeah, you're gonna make me a pile for us,
Right.
right? You're gonna just
Amazon.
have a pile.
Yeah, in case,
Right?
in
Amazon
case,
Prime. in
in case you didn't get real pictures.
No, no, but you're gonna make me a pile of everything you're presenting tonight, so that you have a set and we have a set, right? So we're always on the same page. Okay, so this is the documentation that we needed for the site plan.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the drawing that came right out
Okay,
of the town.
and here is the documentation of the landscape, the new, the transition,
That's a
down.
transition down to the ground.
yep,
That's the one for landscaping.
okay. Okay,
The beauty of all this, it's on the back, it's on the back of the property. You see nothing when you come up, drive. You don't even know it's there.
okay, so, all right, so I want to make a motion to, let's go back to, I'm gonna say item number 2, Mike, which is the elevation which you have provided us this evening, showing the installation of the reused church window, the 2 side doors, the new slider door, the porch deck area that has all been added to the rear of the 1911 barn. The motion will not include the slider door, that's to be determined, we're gonna find out some more information on that.
Yes.
But we have a backup plan or a backup solution if the doors cannot be modified to a swinging. We have to verify if they can be,
Painting.
if they can be, if they possibly can go out swinging, if that will be allowed by the building department. And if it's able to be modified, that would be the first recommendation. Second, the alternative to that would be to maintain the opening and the sliders. We have to figure out how to paint them the trim color to soften the effect. You will provide us with a drawing detail of the solid doors that will come and meet, and I'm assuming you'll paint those red?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
All right. So that, the slider is staying out of this. Okay, so we are going to approve tonight the reuse church windows, side doors, and the porch deck area. Okay? I made the motion.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. More to come on the slider door situation. Okay, but we have a plan. Okay, let's move to the next issue.
That's the site plan.
Yep, I've got the site
Number
plan. Showing the porch deck and landing to the new step area. Okay, so we were looking for documentation of that, and you've provided that tonight. So thank you for that. So I'd like to make a motion that to approve the site plan, documenting the new porch deck area, landing and new steps. It is now on a base map and to scale.
I'll second that motion.
Okay? Okay, second? Yeah?
I'll second that
Okay,
motion,
all in
yes.
favor?
Aye.
Now, to the, I'm gonna call it the last item under our list, which would be the elevation showing in entirety the new work on the north wall of the 1911 barn, showing especially the new garage door work and new openings, new garage bay openings. So we have, so I think that this drawing that is up on the screen starts to tell the story, right? So this is this is the elevation that we're talking about right now. Okay. Oh, also, I have the photo that you sent me. You got it right there. I'll put that up.
Are those the front doors?
Yes.
Those are the front doors,
So,
yeah.
Mike, you wanna tell them how you got that? This is,
This one, this is this section. Yeah. You had asked about, one of the last meetings we had, we talked about this door. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if I knew what it would really look like?
Right.
And I thought about that, and one of the last meetings we had, the vintage lady, she photoshopped a picture of her artwork on the wall. So remembering what you asked for, remember what she did. She photoshopped the original doors from the front and overlaid them here.
yeah.
Just to make it look like that, so you get a sense of what the original, no, I didn't do a great job trying to see the edge there, but you get, at least you get a sense of the
Yeah.
coloring.
Right.
These are the original doors out front, to put the original doors
Right,
in the
because
back.
at one of our last meeting discussions, we talked about, the barn doors sliding over the openings. And then I think we haven't seen anything since, so, so this is good.
It's just a question,
Yes.
which is what we do. This picks up what they did in the doors on the front. Is this something you need for light,
Yes,
or you?
I'm using it for light. We talked about grills last time, when we left off, I was gonna modify the picture with the grills in it.
Okay.
And do taller grills versus a wider pane, taller
Yeah.
pane versus.
And it
then
wasn't looking good, was it?
So in the end, I thought, you know what, why don't we just.
Right,
Yeah,
like,
my doors
I
in the
was
front,
just
so
looking
I'll match
at
'em
that
up.
versus a solid doors.
Yes, I'm trying to use this
More
as a-
appealing to me, but, you know, this is.
I'm cleaning up the upper
choice.
floors, and I'm trying to use this as a shop area, and the sun comes around, I like to keep some sun.
That answers the question.
I think, if I remember from the site visit, Mike, party. One of our, when we talked about it, one of our compromises, I think, we couldn't figure out the grills, I mean, we couldn't figure it out. I think we ended up leaving that day and say, oh, what if we just had the front, what was on the front and it was down below? That would probably work because Mike's whole purpose was to get, not air, but light into the workshop,
Right,
so.
I thought I remembered you saying that, that's not.
Yeah, that's just recoil from the site visit that I remember us talking about.
And you made a good point of like, how far back do you know, can you go when you don't have pictures? So we're guessing what happened 150 years ago, or 300 years ago, we don't have pictures. So,
I assume somebody that had that barn had the same issue you had with how dark it is in the barn. And
Sure.
put a piece of plexi or something in that shade.
So that is,
So in this
so
example,
that's,
when in doubt, imagine the existing, or what we do know on the other barn, on the front part.
alright, so that's what this,
And we'll keep continuity throughout.
so that's what's happening here. So you've got the new stone, the foundation stone. This door slides over, you've made it work, I'm assuming it's done.
Yes. That's a, oh, we can't see it.
But,
But
so-
the track is hidden in there. Okay.
Yeah, okay, and they hang,
The general gist was that the board wanted to see the doors outside.
Yeah.
So we were able to just build the trim out thicker and thicker.
okay.
So
The
just slide
is
down.
running behind this.
Yes, it gets hidden up in there.
Okay.
And then it just clears out the stone.
So this is actually made now?
No, that's me.
Okay.
I just
That was the
photoshopped it from
Right, I
front.
knew it was Photoshop when you were saying it.
Nope, I'm trying to give you a sense of what it would look like.
Yeah, okay,
It is gonna be the 1x4 10 groove.
yeah.
And then, I'll just real quick down
Okay,
here. Yeah, it says new, but it's not there yet.
okay. That's fine. I mean, this goes back to May. I mean, I think this has just been an ongoing conversation, and that this was all the documentation that we've been looking for since that time. So, let's make it final tonight, that this work, be approved, these doors, the stonework, that this elevation is now complete, and we will approve this elevation, all work on this elevation.
Second that.
Second. Okay, so I think, Mike, for the purposes of what we were looking for, I think we've hit the mark, okay? But for new work, we need this, to do this same process. So if anything coming down the pipeline that you know about, we need to have this same level of drawings, package, all the hard work that you put in tonight is what it needs to be, it's the standard, there's no option. So, I really appreciate all of this is great. So, anything coming down the pipeline that we need to know about? We have a new door going on the back, which is good, so the back elevation, the gable end, no, the gable end. So the new slider door will go there, so we're gonna, right? And,
The notes. Yes, I'm gonna go back to Phil and ask him about changing it.
okay, well, first of all, we've got a brand new slider door, solid, no light. The barn doors going on the back where the porch is, the gable end.
Yes.
Okay, so we
I didn't
need-
give you that shot drawing yet,
No, I know, so that's what,
but,
so,
you confused me.
I'm talking about future work.
Oh, yeah, future.
Okay, so any other future work than the barn door?
The landscaping one I gotta ask you about later, that just came out.
Okay, but,
Tony found out like yesterday.
okay, so, but everything, you feeling like this is the complete package for right now, or,
Yes. I don't think there's anything coming up.
okay, no changes, this is
Well,
how it's gonna be?
This is pretty, no, yeah, this is
Okay.
pretty much the master plan we talked about for years and years ago. know, and,
Okay.
as I'm looking at the picture that I gave you guys, last year even. I mean, I didn't do the bocce court or anything, but that's just landscaping.
Yeah. That's fine. Nobody here is gonna have a problem with that, but to meet the restriction, requirements, this is the level of work that needs to go into it. So I appreciate that you've done the work, and, we need to revisit the slider door, so.
Yes.
I don't know, Mr. Ward, he's probably taking a vacation on Monday, so we might have to talk, if you wanna put me on an email chain with him or whatever on Tuesday, let's just continue the conversation so we can wrap that up as well.
Sure.
Okay? All right. That's it. Nothing else. All right.
Do you want to know about the landscaping one, or is that something that?
Yeah, sure. Hit us. What is it? Mr. Todd, I can use him as a reference. Okay, what
I
is
have a
the?
picture for this, so, in the front of the barn,
Yeah.
the front of the main barn,
I have a photo, I think.
of the old, before, great.
I have to find it.
Front
Give
of
me
the
a
main
second.
barn. You said you wanted a big one of these, right?
Yeah, I want all this for documentation.
You want how many of these?
Those are, you're gonna need to file, for Ken Ward, so you give me a set, I have the big set, one 11 by 17, the rest you can have.
So you want?
Is this it, Ken? Oh, Ken.
Yes, Mike.
What's your name? Mine.
Let's go through these.
I put my
It's really
mask
helpful
on.
to see these drawings, it looks
Yes.
good.
Now, do we have one to show us the whole front of the barn?
Probably not.
Okay.
No, I don't have it. I don't have it.
Do you have one, Joe?
Yeah, but it's small.
Oh, that's good.
But this one's good. Can you send it to her so she can send it up there? That take, you guys are fast at that.
How can I have your email, Sarah? What is it?
Sarah, S-A-R-A, Bourque, B-O-U-R-Q-U-E, @mac.com. There you go. Can I come in?
SARABORQUE at
B-O-U-R-Q-U-E. B-O-U-R-Q-U-E. So why don't you just talk about it, we'll wait for the photo. So what is it that you want to talk about?
You're gonna see,
Yeah,
two barn doors.
okay,
And there's a building in the middle, and then the grade drops off to the left.
okay.
Kenny would like me to fill in,
That would be Ken Ward.
Kenny Ward, the building inspector, would like me to fill in the gully, the left-hand side, in order to, here it is.
Ah, okay.
see that left-hand
Yeah,
door and the
goes like
left-hand?
this.
Right.
Yeah.
Try to fill that in.
Okay.
And fill in the left-hand side of the left-hand doors.
Right in here.
See, and see,
Right there.
you see that sloping up?
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
like me to mitigate that to allow better accessibility
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Accessibility.
accessibility.
Yeah.
We have very good accessibility. This is good, you'd like to see me improve it.
Okay.
And I said, I would have to go back to you guys because it has concrete ramps and it's been there forever.
Yeah, from the photo I had before, you can see that,
And
so.
under the flag, there's 3 windows actually. Under the flag there's 1, but then to the left and to the right of the flag, there's a window in there.
On here. Okay.
And
So all this
whether I
gets
put-
smoothed out.
whether I put those window wells in there to pull around the windows. You'd like to see me start to soften those little gullies there and create an area that somebody could park there or ADA.
Yeah, okay. I think, you know, you working with your architect and Ken Ward, gonna need, you know, particular grade. I'm assuming you're gonna have a slope walkway, there. You're gonna have to meet it, you know, grade. Needs to be under 5%.
There's 2 grades, one of which a wheelchair is pushed and one of which is rolled. He's trying to make it just flat for a vehicle. He doesn't want to see the vehicle on much of an incline. He wants me to soften that up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's good.
I said that I was seeing you in a couple of days anyways.
Okay.
And then I would pitch to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it for accessibility. There's no way, I don't think you could, I think it makes sense too, to kind of.
What's the
smooth out.
foundation, is it fieldstone?
Yes, sir.
So even when you change that gully, when you fill in that gully, you'll still be clear, you'll be able to get positive pitch from the building, you're not near the wood in terms of the.
Yes. I will be, it won't be perfect, because then there's other codes that say that they're supposed to be within 8 inches.
Right.
First you stay 8 inches down, but it improves it, and the law is for historic structures,
But you're not
you
touching
try,
them. You're not
you try to
touching
get as close as you can for ADA accessibility. You don't have to be 100% compliant, but you try to do better.
But you're saying clear of the timber.
Right, so you can't touch that,
Right.
but we can put window wells around the window and make it better.
Mike, do you have any comments on that, or?
Were those are ramps that were used to get wagons and things into the barn? Is
Fire
that where they came
equipment.
from?
I would say so.
Wagon.
Yeah. And it's been that way forever because under the flag, which is hard to see, the shadowy, I mean, there's 3 original windows that are still in there.
Yeah. And you have that opening on the other side where they brought things underneath the barn.
Yes.
The one that was just open.
Yep, there's an you're talking about this barn?
Yeah.
Yeah, this barn has 3 openings. One on the left, one on the right, and one all the way down and under.
Yeah, all the way
Around the back.
We saw the one.
So that,
Yes.
New
So this-
sliding doors.
Yep, this antique barn has 3 openings. That's why it's an English barn.
Yeah.
That you can go out, over and out the other side and down and under the middle.
I don't have any issues with this. I think we just need to work closely with Ken Ward on coming up with the appropriate design to meet ADA as close as possible and have it work with, you know, work for you and work for him. But definitely gonna need some kind of a drawing for that. So I'm sure he's gonna require it too. Making sure, verifying the slope and everything like that. So more to come on that. I'm assuming you're gonna wanna do that soon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you might want to have your architect, draw that up so that it can get approved by us and by Ken Ward.
And the goal is, there's a concrete apron in there, and we'll we'll bring the grade up like right to the base of the concrete apron so as not to touch the original concrete apron.
Okay, so,
And then I'll just use galvanized window wells to protect the windows.
I guess you're gonna have to.
So I don't want to take the windows out.
Okay, can you, just have a cut sheet of that for us for next time, of the gallery window wells? So we
Yes.
have it for the file?
Right.
Okay. All right. So that would be upcoming. I don't believe I can get a special meeting to review this. It's just us. Is that on the table?
The galvanized window well, you mean?
That and the grade and the further discussion on the slider door, so we could fine tune that and get that handled. In 2 weeks on a Thursday, I don't know, is anybody available?
I'm available.
You're available, Mike, are you available? Okay, so it may have to wait. So I may have to wait for final approval on that. So,
That's okay.
I can't get it more. Okay, all right.
Cool.
Okay, so, no other cases to be heard for the Historical Commission, motion to adjourn this meeting at 9:10.
Second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We are now adjourned.